Deep in the northern woods, nestled among towering pines, lies a place of mystery and legend. Shrouded in perpetual mist, Whisper Lake is a sight both haunting and mesmerizing. The fog that clings to its surface seems almost alive, swirling and shifting as if whispering secrets to those who dare to approach. Locals speak of it only in hushed tones, their faces etched with a fear passed down through generations. They gather around campfires, their voices barely above a whisper, recounting tales that send shivers down the spine. Legend has it the lake calls out to those drawn to its shores, whispering their names in the dead of night. The moonlight reflecting off the water adds an eerie glow, making the whispers seem even more real. Some believe it's the spirits of Native American ancestors, their souls unable to find peace. They say the lake was once a sacred site, a place of great spiritual significance, and that the spirits are restless, seeking to communicate with the living. Others claim it's a malevolent entity luring unsuspecting victims to a watery grave. The lake's dark, foreboding waters seem to hold a malevolent presence, waiting for the next soul to claim. The truth, as always, remains elusive. The lake's surface, often hidden in mist, conceals its secrets well. Dawn brings a brief respite, but the fog soon returns, cloaking the lake in mystery once more. Yet the stories persist, whispered around campfires and recounted in hushed tones. Each tale more chilling than the last, each storyteller adding their own twist to the legend. Tales of strange occurrences, unexplained lights, and most disturbingly the voices that seem to emanate from the lake itself. These lights, often seen hovering over the water, add to the lake's eerie reputation, a siren song that chills the soul and leaves an indelible mark on those who hear it. Whisper Lake remains a place of beauty and dread, a haunting reminder of the unknown lurking just beneath the surface. The stories surrounding Whisper Lake often begin the same way. An unsettling stillness descends upon the woods as darkness falls. The air grows heavy, thick with anticipation. Then from the depths of the lake a voice emerges, softly at first, barely audible above the rustling leaves and chirping crickets. A name whispered on the wind. It's your name. A sense of dread washes over you, cold and paralyzing. Some dismiss it as a trick of the wind, a figment of their imagination. But deep down, a primal fear takes root. For they know in their heart of hearts that the lake has spoken and it knows their name. The eerie atmosphere surrounding Whisper Lake is undeniable. A perpetual mist clings to the water's surface, obscuring the depths below. The trees that line the shore stand tall and imposing, their branches gnarled and twisted like skeletal fingers reaching out to grasp at the sky. The silence is broken only by the occasional cry of a loon or the rustling of leaves underfoot. But even these sounds seem amplified, distorted by the oppressive atmosphere. The air itself feels heavy, laden with a sense of dread. It's a place where shadows dance in the moonlight and the line between reality and nightmare blurs. One particularly chilling tale revolves around a group of friends who decided to spend a weekend camping on the shores of Whisper Lake. The lake, known for its serene beauty during the day, transforms into something entirely different as night falls. The locals often spoke of strange occurrences and eerie sounds that echoed through the forest, but the friends, eager for adventure, paid no heed to these warnings. Ignoring the warnings of locals, they set up camp near the water's edge, their laughter echoing through the trees. They spent the day swimming, fishing, and sharing stories around the campfire, completely unaware of the unsettling events that would soon unfold. As night fell, the air grew colder, and a thick mist rolled in, blanketing the lake in an ethereal shroud. The once clear and inviting waters now seemed ominous and foreboding. The friends huddled closer to the fire, trying to shake off the growing sense of unease. One by one the campers retreated to their tents, their laughter replaced by an uneasy silence. The forest, which had been alive with the sounds of nature, now seemed eerily quiet, as if holding its breath. It was then that they heard it, a faint rustling at first, like leaves being disturbed by a gentle breeze, but soon it became clear that this was no ordinary sound, a voice, soft and insidious, whispering their names. Panic set in. The whispers grew louder, more persistent, as if whatever was out there was drawing closer. The friends, now fully awake and terrified, realized they were not alone. They packed up their belongings and fled, leaving their campsite behind. In their haste, they left behind tents, supplies, and even some personal items, driven by a primal fear that urged them to escape at all costs. To this day, none of them will speak of what they experienced that night. The memory of the whispers and the feeling of being watched haunts them still, a chilling reminder of the night they spent at Whisper Lake. The most unsettling stories, however, are those rooted in reality. The disappearance of Eliza Hayes, for instance, remains a haunting mystery. A young woman known for her adventurous spirit, Eliza decided to spend a week alone at a secluded cabin on the edge of Whisper Lake. Days turned into weeks, and Eliza's family grew increasingly worried. Search parties were dispatched, but their efforts proved futile. The only trace of Eliza ever found was her journal, discovered abandoned on the cabin floor. The final entry sent chills down the spines of even the most hardened investigators. "The lake called my name," it read. The fisherman's last cast, local fisherman, old man Jebediah, had spent his entire life on the lake, seemingly unbothered by the whispers and strange happenings. From the break of dawn to the setting sun, Jebediah was a fixture on the water, his silhouette a familiar sight to the townsfolk. He was a man of few words, but his presence spoke volumes. The lake was his sanctuary, a place where he found solace and purpose. He'd regale anyone who'd listen with tales of the lake, his voice a gravelly rasp that spoke of countless seasons spent braving the elements. His stories were a blend of fact and folklore, each one more captivating than the last. Around the campfire his eyes would twinkle with a mischievous light as he recounted the legends of the deep, the mysteries that lay beneath the surface. But one stormy evening, as the sky churned with an unnatural light, Jeb decided to cast his line one last time. The wind howled and the waves crashed against his boat, but Jebediah was undeterred. He believed that the lake had one final secret to reveal, one last story to tell. With a determined glint in his eye, he cast his line into the turbulent waters. His small, rickety boat was found overturned the next morning, Jebediah's prized fishing hat floating beside it. The sight was a stark contrast to the man who had always seemed invincible, a reminder of the lake's unpredictable nature. The townsfolk gathered at the shore, their faces etched with concern and sorrow. The lake, which had been a source of life and livelihood, had now become a place of mourning. The whispers that night had been louder than usual, the townsfolk said. They spoke of strange lights and eerie sounds, of a presence that seemed to linger just beneath the surface. Some claimed to have seen Jebediah's ghostly figure still casting his line, forever bound to the lake he loved. The air was thick with fear and uncertainty as the community grappled with the loss of one of their own. Some believed the lake finally claimed old man Jeb, dragging him down to its murky depths. They say the lake has a way of taking what it wants, of holding on to its secrets. The water, once a source of comfort, now seemed menacing and unforgiving. The legend of Jebediah grew, becoming a cautionary tale for those who dared to venture too close to the water's edge. Others believe he simply met with an unfortunate accident. They argued that the storm was too fierce, that even the most experienced fisherman could not have survived such conditions. His fishing gear, left abandoned on the dock, was a poignant reminder of the man who had dedicated his life to the lake. The broken fishing rod, a symbol of dreams unfulfilled, lay forgotten by the water's edge. But no one dared search for his body. The fear of what they might find, or perhaps what they wouldn't, kept them at bay. The lake, shrouded in mist and mystery, remained silent. The memory of old man Jebediah lingered. a haunting presence that would forever be a part of the lake's lore. And so the fisherman's last cast became a story whispered in hushed tones, a legend that would endure for generations. A place of unsettled spirits. Over the years, paranormal investigators, drawn by the chilling tales, have attempted to unravel the mysteries of Whisper Lake. Their equipment, designed to detect fluctuations in electromagnetic fields and record EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, often malfunctioned near the water. Some believe the lake possesses a strange energy interfering with electronic devices. Others speculate that the spirits themselves resist intrusion, guarding their secrets jealously. Whatever the reason, Whisper Lake remains a place where science and reason fail to provide answers. The search for answers. The allure of the unknown continues to draw curious visitors and skeptics alike. Some seek to debunk the legends, hoping to prove that the whispers are nothing more than the wind playing tricks on the mind. Others are drawn to the lake's mystique, hoping to catch a glimpse of something unexplainable, to hear their own name whispered on the wind. But Whisper Lake guards its secrets closely, and for those who dare to venture too close, the line between fascination and fear can blur all too easily. The whispers remain. To this day, Whisper Lake remains shrouded in mystery and fear. The whispers persist, echoing through the trees carried on the wind, a constant reminder of the lake's dark legacy. Are they the voices of restless spirits seeking solace or revenge? Or are they simply a trick of the wind, playing on the fears of those who dare to listen? The answer, like the lake itself, remains elusive, lost in the mist and shadows of Whisper Lake. And so, the legend lives on, whispered from generation to generation, ensuring that Whisper Lake will forever be a place where fear and fascination collide.